This episode is brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration, a proud supporter of the Inside Running podcast. It keeps us fueled on our long runs and races. Are you training for your next big race and still guessing your nutrition? Inside Running Podcast listeners, 2026, this is the year you stop winging it. Precision Fuel and Hydration is the answer. Their free online planner helps you nail your sodium and carb intake so you don't fade when it matters most. Visit precisionhydration.com, and while you're there, place your first order and get 15% off when you use the code IRP2026.
Your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place? Under cover of my skin, I've heard all your names. If it's all the same, I'll keep on walking.
Welcome to episode number 449 of the Inside Run podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. It's a big episode. We've got Rome and Stockholm Diamond League to talk about. The Brisbane Marathon Festival happened. The Mackay Marina Fun Run. Bit of cash up for grabs there and a few people cashed in. Got a listener question, Moose on the Loose, some whispers, preview a few things that are coming up as well. Welcome my co-host. He's up in Canberra, Bradley Croker. Good morning to you at 7 a.m. We're recording this week, not the usual 7 p.m. time.
Yeah, a bit different. Morning coffee, got up, watched a bit of Diamond League this morning. Had a bit of a buzz actually. I was sort of pumped to see, particularly the men's 1500. So yeah, watched a bit of that. Women's 800, which we'll recap, was a bloody brilliant race.
It was. Our other co-host is a 214 marathoner, the owner of, I think, 3 running stores. Moose, what have we got? Running company, Torquay, Geelong and Canberra. Welcome to you this week.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, well, actually the co-owner of 3. Bree, I own Geelong and Torquay with Bree, and then up in Canberra's with Chris.
Is that walk and store just an extension of the Geelong one as well, or is that a separate? Like, do you say that's the 4th store?
No, because it's under the same company as the Geelong store, but
Gotcha.
We treat it slightly differently. It's like a sister store, we'll call it.
Yeah. Thank you for you being here as well. 7 a.m., bit early. Had a rough stretch of sleep in your household as well, I'm hearing.
It's been probably the worst week of sleep in my whole life, for sure. And, I mean, I'm feeling like a real piece of shit because I didn't get 11 hours of training in this week. I just couldn't get it done.
You've done something wrong.
Moose, you haven't done 11 hours of training for the last 3 years, so I don't think another week's going to matter.
Well, I'm not worried. That's not my concern right now. Yeah,
I'll find the soundbite. I'll actually cut that up. I'll add it to the soundboard. I just want it in there for every time you reference it. I didn't think you'd be going there this early.
Well, I was thinking about it last night. I'm thinking this bloke's off his head. At like 4:30 a.m., Bree's been up for 4 hours. One baby's got gastro. The other one's got RSV. And here I am thinking there's something wrong with me if I can't get an hour. And well, it's about an hour and a half in the next day of training going, Anyway.
I think you take it to the extreme though, Moose. Like, obviously there are certain circumstances like yours at the moment. And that's why you're very sensitive at the moment because you're in the trenches, but I'm talking general population, okay? There's always going to be exceptions to the rule.
Gen pop.
He called you sensitive too. You know about that?
He's a bit sensitive.
On eggshells around Moose at the moment, Croaks, you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going to take the day off. Actually, I have to go into the work today, but it's probably not a good time for me to go into work at the moment. How
is it though when you're super tired? I've said that with Carly before, like rough couple of nights with the kids or whatever it is, and you're just like, this is not the day to send an abusive email. Like all it takes is someone to go a 2 out of 10 that I might react with a 10 out of 10 response. Like that's the danger.
That's the other problem Moose has. It's not like you can go to work and just sit behind a computer and not talk to anybody. And yeah, you got to like deal with customers. And if you're tired and a bit bit grumpy.
Yeah, well, I do have an office that I hide myself away in, like on these days. So I want to get, like, I love being on the shop floor, but there's some days like now. The problem is you come off a night shift like that, and it's not like you relax. It's like, oh, right, straight back into the day shift. It doesn't.
The kids don't disappear for 8 hours at school.
Yeah, like I said last week, this is going to shape me as a person.
All right, let's talk some running, Croaks. How was your training week?
It wasn't too bad. Kicked off on the Monday with an hour run, 4:24s, and then jumped on the bike that afternoon for an hour. Watched episode 1 of season 5 of Welcome to Gregson. So that'll sort of keep me occupied for some of these bike rides that I'm doing. Then Tuesday.
Hey, Croaks, I hadn't watched that yet, and then I watched like the first maybe season on the plane over when I was on the plane last. It is good, so addictive.
It's
yeah.
good.
How do you watch it? What's it on? Because I've never seen it pop up on my
Disney Plus.
Disney.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
What I like about it is, like, I'm not a soccer fan. Like, I don't follow it at all. But the way that they bring like the stories from the town into it as well, they've done that throughout the whole every season. They've just told like stories of people from the town and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really, really well done. Bit of comedy in there as well. So.
You know that's where Klaus is from, Moose.
Yeah, I do. I'm familiar with the name because they always talk about that.
That's why I titled this bike ride "Welcome to Clousey's Kingdom" season 5.
Well, he's the only bloke that lives in the town that hates the footy club by the sounds of things. He's not interested at all when you talk to him about it.
Isn't he?
No, he doesn't even know what's happening.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Not a fan.
Anyway, so that was Monday. Tuesday morning, treadmill session, just a really controlled 4 by 10 minutes, 1 minute rest. So I did 2 reps at 17.8k an hour, 2 reps at 18k an hour. I reckon my heart rate probably maybe hit 160 at the end of that session. Jumped back on the bike that afternoon for just 45 minutes. And then also did gym that afternoon before going to the track and coaching. It was a shit night at the track. It was bloody wet. It wasn't windy, just wet and cold. Then Wednesday, just what did I do, like 65 minutes, 4:22s. Thursday, back on the treadmill. So this was, since Sydney 10, this was my 5th session in a row on the treadmill. Hadn't done any sessions outside at all. Did 6 by 6 minutes, all at 18.3k an hour, which was exactly the same that I did the week before. Once again, heart rate was sort of mid 150s, maybe hit 160 at the end of the session. Another 45-minute ride that afternoon instead of a double run. I'd love to be doing the double runs, but I'm just going to, just stick to the bike until I'm confident that the Achilles can handle it.
Why do you keep picking this Turnat place to ride in?
The
map? Your map's always in.
Oh yeah, so it's
Turnat.
Yeah, so you have, well, it's Brussels on the MyWhoosh app. So what I do is I basically choose the flattest, because it's just an easy ride. I don't want hills and stuff. So I find the flattest course possible. And so this one in Belgium has zero elevation.
Well, so you can be riding, and if there's a hill on the course, it changes your bike.
Yep.
Oh, right.
It makes it harder to ride.
So these names on the right-hand side, like, you can't chat with them, can you? I think we've had this conversation before.
I don't know. I think you can, but like, because I have my computer's over like on a desk, so I can't touch my computer. So I can't actually I can't chat to them anyway. Okay. But I don't know why.
Get Viv on the keyboard, throwing some lip while you're on the bike.
But I'm just out there. As I said, like, I don't even pay attention to the computer really. I'm just like watching something on TV.
So is this a race? Were you in a race here?
Nah. I just go to a course and I just ride, and I sort of just keep an eye on the heart rate. Yeah.
This Billy Vincent in front of you, only pushing 1.3 watts a kilo at 27k an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee.
Better watch him.
He's got you really stitched up
What
there.
about Rodrigo Mendieta from Argentina?
Yeah. Rodrigo he's going 76k an hour.
Mm.
Jeez, Croaks.
No, I think that's how far he's ridden.
Oh.
So it shows you how far they've ridden, like how long
Right.
they've been out there for. Yeah. All right. So then Friday back to running. Did another hour, 4:21s, and then Saturday morning headed out to the track. So haven't done a morning track session for a long time, and these morning track sessions hit different to the afternoon. I tell you, it was
10:45 a.m.
Well, that was
That's not a morning track session, Croaks.
It's still morning, but
you're kidding me. I go on Strava first thing when you wake up. There's blokes that have done 10 by a K at 5 a.m.
Okay. It was 3 degrees here in Canberra.
I don't think you're digging out on this one.
Anyway, so I wanted to. So before Sydney 10, my goal after Sydney 10 was to start incorporating one of these like higher intensity sessions, maybe every second Saturday. So it's either the Norwegians do the hills. So for me, it would be something like some K reps at maybe between 5 and 10K pace off like longer recoveries, something like that. And obviously with my Achilles, I haven't done it, but I also wanted to just do a session outside. So I thought I'll go and do some K reps, maybe a little bit harder than what I've been doing on the treadmill, because since Sydney 10, all of my sessions have been like sub threshold. So this went reasonably well, although I didn't feel amazing in the morning. Just perceived effort's a lot higher in the morning compared to the afternoon, but it went fairly well. So 10 by K off a minute. I went 3:12, 3:12, 3:11, 3:11, 3:11, 3:9, 3:11, 3:8, 3:7, and then 3 flat. About 5 reps in, I was recovering well enough in the 1 minute recovery, but it certainly didn't feel that comfortable. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get through 10 reps today. I might just stop at 8, and then sort of just progressed it. And then the last rep, I'm like, okay, well, I've got a fair bit of fatigue in my legs now. Let's just see how strongly I can actually close this without absolutely like feeling like you're tying up down the straight. So I was actually really surprised to be able to run 3 minutes at the end. Given 5 reps in, I'm like, I don't know if I'm even going to get through 10 reps. So ended up averaging 3:08 for the whole session, which obviously blasting a 3 minute K at the end helped that average.
Good for the Achilles.
I didn't feel anything. The whole session, nothing. And then even that afternoon, nothing at all. So that was probably the most pleasing thing about this whole session, was that the Achilles was fine during it and after it. And then yesterday, got out with the boys for 2 hours, 4:21s. Achilles was fine up until the last maybe 15 minutes, and then it just became sort of just noticeable. Like there was absolutely no pain at all for the first hour 45, and then the last 15 minutes just a little bit of awareness. So in terms of the week, that was a week of 130, just over 130K running and 2.5 hours on the bike. And
all singles, 130 in singles?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
130 in singles and 2.5 hours on the bike in a gym session. Yeah, the reason why it's quite big is because my those sub-threshold sessions are quite big in volume. So I'm doing like 10 to 12 kilometers of volume, plus I do like a 4K warm-up, 4K cool-down. So I'm pretty much getting 20K worth of running in a single.
What do you reckon your max heart rate is, Croaks? Like for the listeners at home, that last 1K, like you hit, I think 173.
Yeah. So when I was doing
that's close to like getting there.
No, when I was doing those track races, I got into the 180.
Okay.
Low 180, and even Sydney 10, I think I was like just under 180.
Yeah, gotcha. So you're fast, but you're still very much in control.
Oh, like I was tired. Like, yeah, I was tired going into that last rep, but I actually was really surprised that I was able to still kick down and not feel like I was, tying up, getting lactic down the straight.
Yeah.
But I was tired. Like if you said to me, all right, now have 1 minute recovery and then run another 3 minute K, like that would have been really, really
Race
difficult.
effort. Like, yeah, like the last 3 minutes of a 10K, it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good week. Moose, what have you been doing?
I did a little less because I was running every second day, and it started on the Tuesday. So for those that run alternate days, if you run Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, it's only a 3-day week. But this week will be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So a 4-day week. Yeah, I was going okay this week until Friday, and then I just had like this full on. It was almost like a inflammatory response in the body. But so yeah, I ran on the. I think I had a couple of days off actually. I think I had Monday off because I was a bit sore. So then I ran 37 minutes just around this loop on the way home from work. It just got dark towards the end. It's like in Freshwater Creek. It's a dirt road through the farming area. It's actually really nice out there. I love it because there's just no people. And I just let the dog off the leash and he just like runs after rabbits and wears himself out. And I get to run on a big, wide, super flat, smooth dirt road. There's a couple of little hills, but nothing crazy. And yeah, it's just relaxing. I got on the bike the next day, just did like a little workout. The spin bike, I don't love it like Croaks loves it, that's for sure. But it gets the job done to get the heart rate up. And then on the Friday, it was kind of late. I didn't get out during the day like I wanted to. And I left work to come home a bit earlier. So at 4:35, I thought, I'm going to get out and just go for a jog, and then we'll see what happens in terms of whether I do this little threshold or not. So I got out. This was weather. This was disgusting, like cold, wet, rainy. It actually looks fine on this. Like Medio Pace gives it green wind, but it was howling a gale. And I did this with Ben Mornane, who runs for Ballarat. He works at our store. He's living in Anglesea at the moment. So I met up with him just randomly, and he was doing some 300s before lap of the lake on Saturday. And I thought, oh yeah, well I'll just drop the dog back after the warm up, and I'd just do some work, just do a little workout around where he was doing his workout, which is just on this sort of road that's a bit of a hill. I felt really good. So for the warm up part of this, like I 15 minutes, I thought, geez, you know what? I actually feel really smooth today. Like it could be coming back here. And then the first rep also felt pretty smooth. Like it was a downhill rep. I ran 3:39 because I didn't do any drills, strides. I kind of just went straight into it. I took a minute break, 3:53 for the next rep, which was uphill, and it was the headwind. And so I turned around after that, ran 3:28 down the hill with the tailwind at the same heart rate. And then turned around, and it was like, then it started raining hard. So I had uphill, headwind, rain, 3:58s with a higher heart rate. I was looking at it. I was trying to stay under threshold. But during this last couple of reps, I don't know whether it was the weather or whether it was just because of this, what I'm struggling with, like overnights and stress in general, is like I just started to get this, every single joint in my body hurt. My Achilles hurt a lot. My knee hurt. My back hurt. And I stopped and thought, this just wasn't right. So I took an anti-inflam that night, woke up, didn't feel my knee, didn't feel my Achilles, which makes me feel like it was just this, like there's something going on with the body that I don't quite know about. Because I was fine that next day. Saturday, I didn't run or anything. But then, that was Friday, and then Saturday Saturday morning I went and did this thing, what we've got for the store now. It's called Saturday Sessions. So it was an idea that I had just because the purpose of like this new what we're calling it Saturday sessions. And what it is a monthly, first Saturday of every month, we get a different coach to come down to the same place down at Bowen Valley Park down here. Different coach, different shoe brand, different nutrition brand to take a workout and to guide people through this workout and to, I guess, connect a coach with the rec running community, or even just like some more ambitious runners too. Because like there's a massive increase in running at the moment, and like we've been seeing so many run clubs pop up and on social media, and I read the comments and I see the commentary around these new run clubs, and like I fully agree that the more people running, the better. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with social running and social run clubs. And the commentary around it is like, oh, no one's actually like, this isn't about getting better as runners. This is now just about socializing and using running as a bit of a vehicle to socialize, which is totally fine. But what was sort of frustrating with me was there was no real run clubs coming through that were looking to increase someone's running performance or improve their running performance and educate them on running training, which was the run clubs that we were joining when we were coming through. And we would have coaches that would teach us about running and progress our knowledge and introduce us to new workouts and explain certain things about workouts. Because we still get heaps of people that are still like, the races are all selling out. People still want to get to a start line the fittest they possibly can. And these new, like the new social run clubs popping up, they're not really contributing to that much at all. So the idea was first Saturday every month, we're going to get a different coach on board and sort of, I guess, just expose people to what experienced coaches can do for them. So this was the first one. Like I was the first coach here. We had Nike come down and we had SAS Nutrition come down. And we ran I didn't call it the Moose Fartlek, but
you should have.
It was because everyone was doing a different amount of sets. So like some people might have done 2 sets of the 3 minutes on, 1 minute jog, 1 minute harder, 1 minute jog. And then there were a couple of people that did the full 5 sets. But I haven't had this much fun running in a very long time. So I started off the workout with the guys, and we kind of ran as a group for the first set. And there was like a few kids in there, a few people my age, and everyone was running together. And it was just, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. Like I was getting fitness in, but at the same time, like I could see, I've never really done a running workout without feeling like there was a performance element to it for myself. Like I got to just hang in the group, and everyone else is working hard and doing their thing, and I was working hard too, but I didn't really care. So yeah, I had a great time, and I ran with different people through the group, and I know, got a good feeling from this whole Saturday sessions thing. I feel like it could be a good concept.
Is this heart rate accurate, Moose? Were you wearing like the strap?
I wasn't wearing the strap, no.
Okay.
But like it could have been accurate. I don't know.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, I reckon maybe like this is the stuff you need to do. Like almost do sessions that don't feel like sessions, given where you're at. Like you need to come away from it going, like that was actually really enjoyable. Yeah, it was a bit harder than a jog, but it's not like, oh shit, my body's like my Achilles is sore or this is aching.
Yeah. I did this in big old shoes with a big heel wedge in for my Achilles, and did it in tights and long sleeve, and felt like this is what I need. I finished it feeling good, enjoying it. Did a little cool down jog, just a tiny one, but yeah, I was happy.
Do you know who's the coach for first weekend in August?
First weekend, there's a couple on the cards.
Brady wants an invite.
Trelful Fartlek down the Barwon River there.
I am definitely open to having one of you fellas come down. We've got a few lined up. I've got Lee Troop who's going to come and do it, at some point.
True. The whole path's named after him. Of course he's got to do one.
Olympic coach as well. We've got Erica Fountain, who's lined up.
Yeah.
We've got Adam Beckworth, local coach down here. He's a tri coach, but he also does run training.
Beckworth Racing. They wear
That's
the kits.
Right. Orange and black. Yep. So we've got people lined up. And the brands, we've got Asics, Keen, Hoka's coming down. It's just lining them all up on the right days. Yeah.
It is good, isn't it? Like, it's that gap I feel is in the market as well, between come and jog and we have the coffee afterwards and we have an Instagram page and it's that social connection. Yeah. And then I do think, like, though, a lot of those people then do enter races because they're all selling out, but it's like, how then do you get yourself as fit as possible to get to those races?
And most people consume like Strava. That's where they're seeing workouts and seeing other people do workouts. So I think it's really good that they can show up and see how other people actually are training. Because one of the, like, we'll get into it with the listener question. I don't think people understand the effort level required for a lot of the workouts that they're either prescribed or they're trying to do. And when you see other people around doing it, you're like, oh, hold on, maybe I'm working too hard. Like, these people all seem comfortable. I'm gassing myself.
It's those other conversations as well. And maybe you get this at the run clubs, but like, I remember my first coach, he'd tell me about guys like Lee Troop and Steve Monteghetti, and like Craig Mottram did this in the Diamond League overnight, that you had to get up at 5 a.m. to watch on SBS. That's because there's no social media. Like, it was, you learned about the history and the current state of the sport as well. Whereas I'm not sure. I hope that, you know, big run clubs are talking about Cam Myers and Jess Hull, which I'm sure they probably are. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe there's still a huge disconnect there.
I highly doubt the ones that are popping up on my social media are talking about them. In fact, they make it a point not to talk about that stuff because it's like, this isn't what we're about. And that's fine. That's fine. Like, I don't like, one of the things I feel like we're often get caught up in is trying to pigeonhole running into what we think running is. And I've been reflecting a little bit lately about that, going, why is there animosity towards people going out running? Even though it might just be for Instagram, or if we took social media away, do they still show up? They're still out running, which is an overall net win, I think, for the sport. And yes, it's not our version of running, but it's still running. And like, we get 500 people go to a social run club. Maybe 10 of them come out of that going, geez, I kind of like the feeling when we went a bit harder. Maybe I'm going to try and train a little bit harder. And then all of a sudden they turn into our version of running. Like, it might only be a 5% of the bunch, but maybe that's enough for us.
Yeah, it's still net 5% up.
That's exactly, yeah.
Good. You finished a week? Did you run Sunday?
No, I went surfing. And look,
Blue Doctor.
Yeah, it's busy down here. Long weekend. The surf was pumping too, and so I went to a few car parks. They were full. I'm like, oh fuck, this is not me. Like, I can't deal with people right now. So
too many kooks around. That we call them?
So many kooks, Brady. Just trying to chase the in the, what do you call it?
The pipeline.
Trying to chase the pipeline, and they got
the green room.
I think the pipeline was wrong. Hanging 10 in the green room. Oh, that's good. That's good. We're not going to get, like, kooks isn't going to become one of those words that you get cancelled for, is it?
No, I don't think so.
In the surfing world?
Well, if someone called you a kook seriously, you'd be offended, yeah. But most people would admit they're a bit of a kook.
Okay. Cool. I'll go through this week. Monday, 65 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. This was a rough start to winter, boys. Like, I think you hinted at it, Moose, but it just went, we had an amazing April and May up here. The minute we hit June, it was like Ballarat weather, like raining whole days, windy, cold. Winter's usually not too bad up here. We tend to get the frost in the morning, and then it's like 15 degrees and sunny during the day. There was none of that, though, the first couple of days of winter. I was like Googling rain jackets by Wednesday. So I'm like, I've got to stock up. You know how you can't get your washing done too? So it's like the rotation kind of is impacted a bit.
How many own a running store, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I was Googling some stuff.
How many days do you get into the negatives, Brady?
Oh, quite a few, I reckon. Like, I'd say 15 to 20 throughout winter.
So
but they're beautiful days.
So Canberra right now, 7:30, minus 2.2, feels like minus 4.5.
Yeah, well, it's not a competition, Croaks. Like I'm just saying, sometimes it's frosty here, but we had Ballarat weather for 3 days, which wasn't good. Tuesday was a double workout day, 3 by 11 minutes in the morning. And this is the first time I've done this double workout day with my heart rate monitor on. So I went 329, 329, 330, and my heart rate average was 156, 159, 159. From my testing, it told me my LT1 was 164. So I got in the message group. We got a message group, don't we, fellas, with a lot of like Olympians, qualified coaches, like real big dogs. And I'm like, am I doing this too easy? But it felt right. And I think because heart rate can be variable, you know, with sleep and temperature and all those kind of things, I think it's a bit better to be easier than like at that kind of LT1. Still not 100% sure, but it felt right.
But like, I don't think you can look at really the averages because, you know, the first part of the rep is going, like your heart rate's going to be so low because you're already not working that hard at the end of the rep. So your heart rate's going to drop a lot in that 90 seconds. So and then it's going to take a while to get back up. So you probably want to look at how much time you're actually spending around that LT1 heart rate, which is obviously going to be higher than the average heart rate. So I wouldn't worry too much about the averages. I
don't think I got there at all though, Croaks. Like I don't think I hit. I think my max heart rate for the whole workout was 163.
Yeah.
So I'd have to look that up. But anyway, I'm learning. Went back out that afternoon for my 20 by 75 seconds off 30 seconds jog. Went down the straight road. I'm hitting like 3:10s for these. Went down the straight road for like the first 8 or 9 and then did a U-turn to come back again. And I just saw like black clouds, lightning flashing, rain starting. And I'm like, this is like a horror movie or something when you just see the castle surrounded by the big dark clouds. So I'm running into this. It was pretty dangerous. I had to stop during one of them because I had like the cars can't see me, low visibility. On the side of the road, trying to run at the cars when they're kind of, it was an absolute shit show, boys. Quite dangerous. And I didn't really want to die doing a double threshold. So I got it done, but got a bit hairy out there at stages. Same thing with this one. My heart rate max was 168. So I'm like, should I be pushing this one a bit more? Not sure. Getting quality in a day though. So we'll just see what happens next couple of weeks. Wednesday was 10K in the morning, 8K in the afternoon. Thursday was the Thursday loop before work, about 16K at 434s. Listened to the road to somewhere. Ali had a bit of a dig of you on there, Croaks. Called you arrogant. Wants Nick to rock up to Albert Park 10K just to smoke you. It's not going to his head, this record stuff, is it, Moose? I don't know. Think he's changed too much, but has he?
Yeah, the whole 11 to 12 hours thing sort of suggests that, I reckon. Just a bit of high horse stuff.
Yeah, okay. Up there in his ivory tower. Anyway, Nick Earl's got a target on you, Croaks.
No. What about the Nick Earl carry-on of, like, throwing Sam Hopper under the bus?
Sam Hopper did not come out of that.
You're back on Hopper's side now. You're back with Team Hopper.
Well, based on what I've never seen Nick Earl like leading a pack at all, and he was trying to make out that he was doing more than what Hopper had done, and then Hopper's zigzagging across the road, Trelful style.
Yeah, but you can do that when you're winning a race. Like when I zigzagged, I was trying to drop the guy in second. You don't do it when you're coming 112th, trying to drop the lead women.
To be honest, I watched that race, and those two blokes were both sucking air out the back. Like they were not up front, either of them, nowhere near the front. I saw Riley Cox and then Izzy just behind, and then not many more in front around it.
Yeah. What about Ali getting a sauna too, Moose? You go around there for a couple of saunas?
Not me, but will she ever get it? You got Kieran building it. It's been going for a while. Kieran's the bloke who used to sell underwear. Now he's selling saunas. He's doing it.
Sounds like Ellie doesn't have trouble getting 11 hours if she's betting a sauna. She's got time to go and sit in a sauna.
How good's getting a sauna put in?
Got the money to buy a sauna too. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
Neither could I.
She said to me,
Moama Cemetery going, wow, how's this?
Yeah, you guys should get a sauna. I'm like, what? Why the fuck would I get a sauna? And where am I supposed to find the money to build a sauna? It must be real nice down in Aries Inlet.
You
Need to
were
get
going
those-
to get one. Remember Sydney prize money? You were going to buy a sauna if you were like top 5 in the Australian champs back in the day.
No, I don't. Oh, I do a sauna.
Yeah.
Oh, a little box, maybe a little box one.
Yeah.
Not like this thing. This thing's like full fucking built out, and this
Is it like the ones you see at the gym and stuff? One of those big ones.
No, like the ones you see in Finland.
Oh, really? Yeah, right. All right. Anyway, that was Thursday. Did I do a PM run Thursday? Yeah, I did 33 minutes in the afternoon, still in the rain. Friday morning was the 20-minute smash and grab. What can you do kind of fartlek before work? Mate, I just make these up in my warm-up, boys. I just come up with some numbers trying to add up to 20 minutes. So it's 8 by a minute hard, 30 seconds jog, 30 seconds harder, 30 seconds jog. That gets you 20 minutes. I was kind of like 3-minute pace for the 1 minute, 2:55 pace for the 30 seconds. Just ticking the box. Probably a bit easier this one than what I've been doing previous weeks. But, you just test out a new fartlek for the week. What about on the warm down? Like I park my car at this spot near the Moama Bowling Club for people listening, and I'm about to start the warm down. I've got like 5 minutes to warm down, and I see this like cowboy hat sitting in the middle of the road, and I'm like, this is a legit cowboy hat. And these tradies had just gone around the corner like 2 minutes before, and I've been near this road for like the last hour. So I'm thinking it's obviously come off one of these tradies' cars, and they're like parked a couple of blocks down at like this work site. So I've changed out of my flats into my jogging shoes to do my 5-minute cool down, and I've picked up the cowboy hat, and I thought, I'll be a good Samaritan here, and I'll drop it down to the tradies. So here I'd go marching down, running down. I'm in my like Say Sky half tights, bit of Lululemon up top. Get to the work site with this massive cowboy hat in my hand. The boys are like standing around, a bit of a site meeting, a few Red Bulls, bit of Dare iced coffee. And then I'm like, I ain't got time for like introductions and stuff. I just want to get rid of this cowboy hat and get straight out of here. They're having a bit of a meeting. And I just roll in like, hey boys, someone's cowboy hat's come off their ute or whatever. I'm just here to like give it back. And then they're all just like turn around and look at me like, what's this guy doing? Like no one lost a cowboy hat. I think they felt like it was almost one of those pranks where the guy's going to rock up to the work site in half tights and try to get rid of a cowboy hat. And then they're all just staring at me and they're like, nah, mate, like, not our cowboy hat. And I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe it's the guys down on the next block. So I've just like left the site meeting, jogged around my cool. There was no other tradies on the next block. Just did my cool down with a cowboy hat, and now I've got a cowboy hat in my shed. And I googled it. It's worth $250.
What are you talking to, Cubra?
Oh, I don't know, but it's like, yeah, it's real big. It's got like the bull, the little bull logo at the top.
You got to put that on Facebook Facebook's
Yeah,
community
I don't know.
page. Moama.
Yeah, that's like, is
Moama.
this like the time I wanted to steal that bike again? Is that like that? You know, is
You're
it
going to wear
finders
that.
keepers?
Yeah, you're going to wear that to the pub, and the wrong bloke's going to go,
I know.
you fucking stole my hat. And
That's
just
what
knock you
Carly
out.
said. She was like, that's a really nice hat, and someone's going to be really sad that they've lost their cowboy hat.
Yeah, get that up, mate. Give
I
it
tried
back.
to do the right thing.
Give it
tried
back.
to
Put it on and take a photo and send it through to us first, though. Love to see you in a cowboy hat.
Wow, Olivia was real up and about. I took it home and she put it on her head. She's probably got like head lice or something now. But she was all, I'll send you this photo because she rolls up to the bedroom. She's in like a princess dress with a Collingwood football jumper underneath it. And then she's wearing a cowboy hat. And I'm like, this is the most rarest outfit I've ever seen. But I've just put a message in our group chat there and have a look at it. It's
Zach
real
is going
fair
to love
dinkum.
that. Zach is
real
going
fair
to.
dinkum.
I told you we got to stop sending pictures of our kids in the group. Zach is in.
Yeah, I should have went on the other one. Sorry. That was a good start to the day, though. 30 minutes in the afternoon on Friday after school, 4:31s. And then Saturday I did my long run. So next couple of weeks I'm going to do Saturday long runs, Monday workouts. Don't ask, just a bit of life stuff going on, a bit busy. So I did 2 hours out past Rich River Golf Club. Some nice dirt roads out there, 4:28s. And then Sunday I rolled 74 minutes at 4:30 pace, 152K for the week. Tick some boxes, getting fit. Going to have a down week this week, though. That's been 5 weeks at 150K. So I'll just turn it down for a week, go from there.
When are you race next?
I think I'm going to do the AV relays in maybe 3 weeks at Calder Park.
Calder Park?
Yeah, they're at Calder Park this year.
Where's that?
So, the Calder Freeway, probably like half an hour out of Melbourne on the way to Bendigo.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's 3 weeks yesterday.
Well,
And
that's good for you.
Yeah, it's good this side of town. I think it was always like 6.2K, wasn't it? But I don't know how far that racetrack's around. So I'm not even sure what the distance is.
Wonder if it's got a hill in it or not.
Yeah, I should look that up. I don't think it's got a hill. I think it's pretty flat. So, yeah, I want something to just test how this training's going. And then Albert Park 10K. Sit behind Croaks and Nick Earl there for a while.
Yeah.
See if I can be competitive with the two big alphas.
You won't be behind me.
I'll be behind you, mate. You're flying.
You won't know where each other are. There's going to be so many people around you. You won't even see each other.
Bullshit. I'll know exactly where Croaks is. I'll just be tracking him through the pack like Andreas Algren was with Cam Myers in that first 150 last night.
150?
Yeah. Did you see him? He was,
he was
right
a pacer.
on Cam Myers.
I thought you said he was a pacer.
No, he requested the pace. Anyway, we'll get to thanking some Patreon supporters, then we'll talk about that. Who are you thanking, Croaks?
I got Ryan Lucas this week. Ryan's from Adelaide. He's run 16:56 for 5K on the track, 35:53 at this year's Semaphore Classic 10K, 79 minutes at last year's Ballarat Half, and 3:07 at the 2024 Perth Marathon. On his Strava, there's a photo of him, or like Geordie Beamish's odds to win last year's World Championships at the odds of 150 to 1. So he may have placed a bet, a $10 bet on that result. And he's possibly a graduate contract administrator at Genus Steel.
Oh,
Thanks,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Got rich, you reckon, punting.
Maybe, yeah.
Gamble responsibly, yeah.
Good odds, 150, 151 to 1.
Odds. Very good odds.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when I was looking at the results overnight with the Diamond League as well. And you're like, it's crazy that he won that race. It's crazy that that happened. Who are you thinking, Moose?
I have Andrew Cronwright. Now, Andrew is from Geelong. Strava bio says he's ex-golfer turned mediocre runner. He's run 22:07 at Albert Park Run, 45:08 at last year's Ballarat 10K, wearing an Inside Running Podcast Ernie old singlet. Just on that, we still have a few of them left, fellas. And 1:43 at last year's Run Melbourne Half Marathon. Been very quiet on Strava since October last year. PhD student at Deakin, sport and exercise science. He's into biomechanics and coaching in cricket. Pace bowling coach at the Rajasthan Royals Academy. Yeah,
Pretty cool job.
Yep. I've run into Andrew before. He's come through the store. He's been to a couple of our run events. But yeah, big in the cricket world.
Is that Indian Premier League?
Yeah, I think they have an academy in Melbourne though.
Okay. Yeah, how's that? So he's got the golf, the running, and the cricket.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for your support, Andrew. I'm going to thank Glenn Carroll from Melbourne. He has ran 17:31 at the Frog Hollows Park Run, 36:16 at the 2014 Albert Park 10K, 81 minutes back at the 2013 Advanced Freight Half Marathon. You know what that is, Croaks?
The old Burnley.
Well, it's still Burnley, but Advanced Freight sponsored it for a few years there. And 3:05 at the 2018 Adelaide Marathon. We think he's the Director of Service Delivery and Support at Civica, which makes software that helps deliver critical services for citizens all around the world. That's a good title. Thank you, Glenn, for your support. An old school XCR guy, AV guy.
Yeah. Who did he run for? Who was he running with?
Not sure.
Yeah, didn't see any photos of his singlet.
No.
On that, I think I did hear a whisper the other day that AV's looking to get like sponsorship money in for their events so they can pay some prize money. And you're like, remember Skins used to sponsor the 10K at Sandown, Moose, and Advanced Freight used to do the half marathon? Isn't that just a no-brainer? Like, you got huge events.
It's very cheap.
Well, Sydney 10 had prize money. And like, if Sydney 10 can have prize money for like New South Wales 10K road champs, surely AV can, because AV would have way more money coming in.
For the entry fees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's bloody hard to win, so they deserve prize money if you're winning an XCR race.
Do you reckon though, this is just me thinking, would it be better to spend it on the prize money or to subsidise some of the fees that the AV runners pay each year?
Oh, I wish they would just make it like like an XCR registration. Like I wish I could pay my 6-month registration and qualify for the XCR season. And then, hey, this isn't going to qualify for the track and field season. All good. I'll pay that if I want to in summer.
Probably not
so
big
many
enough
people
dent.
like me.
Yeah,
Hey?
not a big enough dent to subsidise. But
Yeah.
That's how it is in New South Wales. You have like a winter season and a summer season.
No, you got to pay AV for the whole 12 months registration in Victoria.
Oh, okay, or maybe New South Wales is the same. Yeah,
which is a killer. On that, though, it's probably worth noting what Benny Saint told us the other day, that if you are a member of an Australian athletics club and you want to run Sydney Marathon, on Athletics Australia website, you can enter the Australian Championships. Was the qualifier sub 2:30 for men, and was the women's, off the top of my head, was it 2:50?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I thought it might have been 3 hours, maybe.
Was it 3 hours? Yeah, anyway, go to the Athletics Australia website. It's a really good initiative from Sydney Marathon where you get a free entry. I think you also get access to drinks. You also, it was $250 for women. This is since January 1st, 2024. $68.30 for men in the half marathon, $77.30 for women in the half marathon. So this only applies to people who haven't entered already. If you already entered, I don't think they reimburse your entry fee. But if you enter now before the end of June, you get a free entry. I thought it was a good initiative from Sydney. Like, there's not many majors. Like, I'm sure the guys over in the UK don't get into London for free if they're broken 2:30. Don't get into New York for free.
This is kind of what you need, like to build that. The
sub-elite,
sub-elite
domestic tier.
Yeah, it's like you know how the trials in America, like the local good runner is always trying to get to the trials. If that could be like Sydney, could be this, the local good runner is always trying to hit the championship start at Sydney. You could call it a championship start, maybe. Yeah, and then that everyone knows about it early. I think there is limited spots though, which will hurt.
And for the drinks, I think Benny said there it was like capped at 50 people or something with the drinks.
Yeah,
and it's probably the fastest 50, I'm guessing.
Well, maybe that's still okay, and then you're still in the field. Like, you're getting an entry to a major, and that's pretty cool, I reckon.
Yeah, and this isn't taking into account like the Australian elites. So like, Ali's not taking up a spot for this field, like should be in the elite field kind of thing, or whoever else has run it. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters. If you like what we do on the show, you can support us at patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast. The UK boys, I woke up to an episode from them fellas like an hour ago. Here's an episode for you. So haven't listened to it yet. I'll get it out there ASAP. So looking forward to listening to that. I think
Clousey's marathon recap.
Well, I think Dan Nash ran a marathon since they recorded the last as well, because I don't think they've recorded since he ran London.
So he ran well too.
Couple of marathon recaps in there. I did see that Aaron ran a Monofartlek the other night as well, so he's getting fit. So that will be in their UK Monthly Boys, I think, a Wednesday night as well. So it should be a big week of content over there. Shoe Geeks is already there. I'll have to check with Zaka when that goes out publicly, but that's been up as well. Good to hear those voices as well, Moose.
Oh, it was good to get them back, the fellas. It's a rough ride, that message group I'm in there. Real rough ride. Michael Nishki, that bloke, he can wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you can just cop it for like 2 hours straight because you haven't recorded a podcast. And
he's injured at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's injured, so he'll be even grumpier. Very emotional fella. But it was good.
What's he done to himself?
Calf.
Yeah, old man calf.
This week's running news brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Kick things off, Croaks.
Yeah, so we got a couple of Diamond Leagues. We had Rome, which was early hours of Friday morning, our time. Women's 1500. So the field didn't really go with the pace, which meant that Abbey Caldwell was controlling the race pretty much up until the bell. And then Georgia Hunter-Bell and Nikki Hiltz, they sort of got away down the back straight. And at that point, a lot of the field did swamp Abbey with like sort of 250 to go. Hunter Bell was too strong, got the win, 358.63. Kazimierska closed late to beat Nikki Hiltz, 359.24 to 359.26. Abbey Caldwell was 7th in 4:02, which, I heard an interview and she's obviously said like, it wasn't my greatest run, so just on to the next one. And we were chatting about it yesterday on the long run that at this level, it is so hard to be consistent, which I think makes the likes of like Jakob Ingebrigtsen those years of just rocking up and always nailing races so impressive. Here's Abbey gone from winning a Diamond League to 7th in 4:02 and never really looking like she was in it down the back straight. Do you guys watch it?
Yeah, I kind of felt like she got real stitched up here. And I think maybe it's because she hasn't had a lot of Diamond League experience. There's a lot of old heads in that race. And I heard the commentators say that Nikki Hiltz had asked for a specific pace. And then the pacer went and Hiltz just sat back. Which for one, like for me, that's not on. Like if you're going to ask for a pace, you fucking go with it. Because what's happened here is Abbey being probably a little fresher to the scene and bit of a rookie, I guess, and a bit of expectation on her that others have it's almost like a hazing for her. They've just let her go, hey, this is your job now. You go, you lead this pack and you don't make it slow. Like the pace is up there. You're supposed to be on that. And I feel like maybe in a year, like next year's circuit, Abbey doesn't take that bait because they all just lined up behind her. They let her like string it out a bit, and then obviously she's just done so much work, like two plus laps in front. Yeah. But I reckon I would be pissed if that was me. I would go, Nikki Hiltz, if you ask for this pace and then you're sitting in third place, what the fuck is that all about? Like, don't ask for the pace if you're going to just sit back. That makes no sense to me. Kind of ruin someone else's race.
Yeah. Women's 5K, we had Linden Hall. So there was a pack of like 15 through 3K in like 8:41, led by Yavi, the steeplechaser. And then by this stage, Linden was sort of off the back, like isolated. With 600 meters to go, like Yavi was still in front, and at that point, Halu surged, and there was like eight still there at the bell, whittled down to 3 with 200 meters to go. Boake, she went past Halu with 70 meters to go and looked like winning, but Amabor came really late and got both of them. And so Amabor won in 14:18.41, which was a world lead. Boake, how do you know how to pronounce that one?
Good work, Croaks.
Yeah, she was 14:18.54, and Halu was 14:18.94. Linden Hall, in the sort of last 2K, she sort of picked up a few people, including like Batacletti, and sort of ran with that group for the last couple of K. She finished 15th in 14:40, which was a PB. So good result there for Linden.
Great result. You come 15th, you're on 14:40. Like, it's incredible.
She ran it really smart. Like when we talk old heads, that's an old head right there. Like she did not get sucked into that real rush of pace at one point when it started to kick off. She kind of knows herself so well. And then she just kept picking people off, Like 15th looks a little worse than what it was in terms of her racing. So yeah, I was impressed with that. And I think she probably looks at the 5K now, goes, well, this is my future, because the 15 sort of like Linden's not really in the conversation for that 15 team anymore, but the 5K, I mean, it's still a tough team to make, but if you're running 14:40, you're giving yourself a chance.
Yeah.
At the moment, though, she'd be our number one seed over 5K with that, wouldn't she? We haven't seen much from Rose.
Rose ran.
Morty hasn't been under 15 this year, has she?
Yeah, I think Rose only had one run, though. I think it's like, she run 14:50 low?
Yeah. Lauren Ryan ran 14:50 something last week.
Yep.
So, yeah, Linden, you'd think's in the number one spot.
Haven't seen Georgia Griffith for a while.
Yeah,
She's
she should,
racing. She's racing Oslo 3K this week.
Okay. There
Yeah.
you go.
she should be in that conversation with the 1500s.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
should.
She's
Yeah.
another one you could throw in there, but we haven't seen much of her.
I feel like George is also in that sort of transition phase at the moment where she was very much 8:15. Now she's the Aussie record holder over 3K, and probably starting to look to move up as well. And she ran a great 5K last year, didn't she, Georgia?
She did. Her and Rose.
14:30 maybe.
Yeah,
14,
yeah.
Yeah.
Men's 800, we had Peyton Craig in this one. Twile got the win, 143.66. Beat Mark English, 143.80. Panisi was third in 143.97. And Peyton Craig, 144.01, moves him to number 3 all-time Aussie. Had a great run, like hugged the rail most of the way. Pretty similar to Sarah Billings' run, I thought, when she ran her PB. And he had that sort of trademark fast finish, which was great to see. So very encouraging signs for Peyton, I guess, early on in the season.
He's got that dog in him, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He can pull that out late.
Yeah, it was good. It's always good to see when he's closing hard. Then this morning, Stockholm Diamond League. So men's 1500. So I think Almgren was the one that set the pace here. Like he asked for, I think it was like 2:19 or 2:20 through the kilometre, which I thought was a bit weird given he's one of the slowest guys in the field. And as it turned out, like he never actually got in behind the pacemaker at all.
No, it's his home Diamond League, isn't it?
Yeah, but well, who do you? Well, all right. Here's a question for you: who should be setting the pace in these races? The hometown hero or the people who are most likely the ones challenging for the win?
Yeah, but maybe he's said, "Hey, I want it at 3:30," and then everyone else has said, "Yeah, that's fine. That's how it works."
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I'll see if I can get Jordo on the monthly on Wednesday.
All right,
patch him in.
See how it all works. But
anyway, how
anyway,
it works. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it actually works.
So the Pacer did a great job. They were like 151 high through 800. Cam was right behind the pacemaker, and then like it was then Nuguse there. Cam was basically leading all the way up until 50 to go, and they just like I thought with 120 to go, the gap just wasn't closing between him and Nuguse, and then Chariot was sort of next. And I thought he's going to hold on here, like he's just going to be strong enough. And then Nuguse got him late, but even then, it's like he only just lost. And Nuguse got the win, 3:30.11. Cam was second, 3:30.32, and Tim Chariot was third in 3:30.67. But it also just goes to show that there's really small margins here in the 1500. So I think Cam ran 2:29 in Sydney solo, going through 800 in like 1:53. And so you go like, a second and a bit quicker through 800, and it just comes back to bite you in that last 150 of the race. And that's probably the difference between him, being able to close a bit quicker and break 3:30 versus just fading a little bit and running just the other side of 3:30.
He said he was feeling off though in some of the post-race interviews.
Okay.
So read into that.
But the other thing
is line, isn't it, when you have just start feeling off.
Yeah. Well, that being said, when I was at the gym Tuesday afternoon, Dick Telford was in there, and I was having a chat to Dick, and he said that he does have a niggly hammy. Remember how early on in the season he's had this niggling hammy on and off for quite a while now. So Dick said that after the 800, he adjusted the Tuesday session to make it obviously a bit lighter than what they would have done. So hoping, like the hammy doesn't sort of turn into anything sort of long term.
Okay.
Nah, there's something about Canberra hamstrings long term. But the difference in Nuguse sitting behind and him taking that, like when we're talking as like absolute top level, like tip of the spear, there is a real difference between taking that wind and sitting behind. It could be enough. That could be that half a second at the end of the race. So like Cam's good enough to pull that off in Australia,
Mm.
and Jakob was good enough to pull it off when he would go and do it. But maybe Cam's like got to play around with just some tactics here and there just to take, I guess, just to build the arsenal, build the toolkit a bit going into the Com Games.
Yeah,
Too many people in the race too. Like he had to work pretty hard to get out of like the blocks there and get on the pacer. Lane 2, lane 3, spend a lot of energy to get around there.
Yeah.
The good thing now for Cam, though, is I feel like up until he ran that 800, there was always this belief that, the only way Cam's going to win is making it like a strength test. Whereas now that he's run fairly quick over 800, he's run faster than Josh Kerr. So he's got a quicker 800 PB than Josh Kerr now. So maybe he doesn't necessarily need to do all the work. He can sort of rely on that 800 meter speed a bit more now.
He still smashed a heap of good runners in that race. Like, he's got whatever he's got, and everyone's got these. I was expecting to wake up and see like 327. How good's this? And I woke up to the media release from Athletes Australia, and it said like move over Mondo, make room, and then it just said like C. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I thought it was going to say move over Mondo. Cam Myers is the new, like, star of the show or whatever. But it was Curtis Marshall because he'd beaten Mondo. And I'm like, hang on.
Isn't he K? Isn't Curtis K?
Oh, I thought he was C. I'd have to recheck the email. But initially when I saw the media release, I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go. Cam Myers news. But it was, I think he is K too.
Yeah.
Well, we saw...
move over Mondo as M. And I thought it was going to be Myers, but it was Marshall.
Yeah.
Spoils Stockholm Diamond League party.
Yeah. All right, women's 800. This was probably the race of the meet for me.
Huge.
So basically, I think they went through 455 point or something. Wero from Switzerland, she was right on the pacer. And then at 300 to go, Keely Hodgkinson made a really, really aggressive move. And you're like, okay, she's going to run away from it here. But Wero just stayed this sort of like 1 meter behind. And just you always were expecting at some point that Keely would just run away from her, but she just stuck there. And then down the home straight was actually too strong and ran away from Hodgkinson. So Wero got the win, 153.98, which moves her to number 3 fastest all time, 0.7 of a second off the world record. Hodgkinson second, 154.33, which was a PB and national record. And Willis from the US was third in 157.56. So massive gap back to third, but it was impressive, and it's going to make it really exciting for the 800s this season. That Keely's got some competition.
It's a perfect way to do it, isn't it? Like, pacemaker takes it out quick. You're in the lead for a while. The person thinking they're going to win comes around you, so they keep it hot, and then you just sit in and then burn them in the home straight.
Yeah, I think Keely, I don't know if I'll call it arrogance, but I reckon that move, it was just too aggressive. Like, I don't think in an 800 you can afford to surge that aggressively off already a pretty quick pace. And I think that's what really hurt Keely. Because it was an aggressive move. Yeah.
Season opener for her, though.
Yeah. And then men's 800. So went through 450. A-Rop was the one that was sort of, the aggressor here. And he had like a bit of a gap down the back straight. It was a really cool visual that the whole field, I reckon, almost had like even spacing between them with about 150 to go. There was about, a meter between each runner. So A-Rop was in front. Lutkenhaus, though, was he 17? He was too strong. Got the win, 142.7. Beat A-Rop, 143.11. And Muller was third, 143.41. Pete Bowl, he was in the race. He was sort of mid-pack down the back straight. Held on, I thought, quite well. He was fifth, 143.7.
It's pretty crazy watching this 17-year-old. I was watching the race. I'm like, oh, here we go. Good. Like, let's see the young fella up against the big dogs, and he had the loudest bark. That's for sure. Because and when you say, oh, he was too strong, That's not normally what you would say about a 17-year-old going up a bloke like A-Rop, who could be like the most physically strong, intimidating figure that you'll ever see. But this guy is going to be around for a long time, isn't he?
Doesn't look like a 17-year-old either. Like, he looks like a 25-year-old.
He does.
He's fully developed.
Yeah. Once again, though, A-Rop set it up pretty well for him. Like, Lutkenhaus had basically a pacer for 750 meters. And then we also had Jaylah Hancock-Cameron. There was I guess a B 800 meters race. She was fourth in that in 2:02.6. The race was won in 2 minutes. So that's the Diamond Leagues for the week.
Good wrap there, Croaks. Well done. Brisbane Marathon, Moose.
Yes, Brisbane. Funny, Brisbane's probably like you say about a third tier sort of marathon festival. If you've got we'll say Gold Coast, Melbourne, Sydney, top tier, then you'll go maybe Ballarat, Sunny Coast. What else you'd put second tier? That'd be about
it. Yeah, it's probably
not many, are there?
No, and then maybe then you would say like Brisbane and Hobart maybe. And I don't know where Perth sits. Boys, we've got to get some more. We've got to get one of you blokes over to Perth just to experience what a festival looks like over there.
I've been to Perth since uni games in 1999.
How'd you go?
Oh, no good. On the piss all week. Did a nude lap of the Wacker.
There we go.
You've done a lot of nude laps of places.
Don't you and Sean Crichton do it like every Sunday night or something? First Sunday of every month? It's a bit weird how often you guys do it.
With each other holding hands.
Yeah. That's strange, but Canberra things.
Yeah.
The course is AIM certified, but it does have a lot of bike path or along the river there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's fairly hill. Got some hills too.
Yeah, a few curves. In the men's race, Takaki Mori ran 2:21 to beat Kai Tsuboi 2:25. So are these local?
Japanese. Well, on the results, they've had the Japanese flag, and actually it was a Japanese 1, 2, 3 in the marathon.
So they've sort of come over, and maybe they're not winning too many races back home. They're like, let's go to Brisbane and take care of that race, and they have. So good there. We did have a local win the ladies. Lucy Bartholomew ran 2:47.06 to beat Melanie Magarey 2:48.29. In the half marathon, Seb Asher, his Geelong fella, 67.43, beat Seiki Makino 67.55, and Cassie Fien ran 75.26 to beat Radka Karlefeld 76.55. 10K, Desmond Cutter 30.13 beat Rowan Hickey 30.19, and in the ladies, Kobe Walker 33.47 beat Rhiannon Northcott 35.23. Kobe Walker.
She's big on YouTube.
Is she? That's a pretty good time.
Yeah, she's been over the college.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there was she's like huge. She's got her own. Oh, there was a lady from work telling me the other day she's brought out her own chicken salt.
What?
I've never heard of her.
Someone from work told you that a distance runner has brought out their own chicken salt.
Someone from work, her daughter is kind of into running, should be year 8 or year 9, watches all of Kobe Walker's stuff on YouTube, trying to break 21 minutes for park run. And then she's brought out her own chicken salt, and she's bought it. Got it delivered the other day. She got 14,500 followers on YouTube.
Wow. There you go.
She went to college. She's the real deal. I'm trying to think. I'll open up her PBs as I'm talking to you.
One to watch, maybe.
15.58, 9.26 for 3K, 4.22 for 1,500. All these are set this year. So, yeah, I don't know what college she's at, but, yeah, very entrepreneurial with her content.
Cool.
That was the Brisbane Running Festival. I'm going to take it to Mackay, which is what, North Queensland, boys? Townsville, Cairns, Mackay for overseas listeners up there. Never been there myself.
Never been there either.
They got a Marina Fun Run, though, and there's some cash up for grabs, and some big dogs have rocked up to take some cash. So the half marathon, that was $2,500 for the win, then $5,000 for breaking the course record, which Liam Boudin did. He ran 64.25 to beat Luke Fagnes in second in 68.49. Jen Gregson also was up there to break the course record. She ran 74.21 to beat Sky Perkins in 84 minutes. So nearly a 10-minute win there for Jen. Picks herself up $7,500. In the 10K, Tim Vincent broke the course record. He ran 29.49. This was $1,500 first and then $2,500 bonus for the course record. Ryan Gregson was second in 29.56. Brielle Urbacher also broke the course record, 33.50, beat Eloise Wellings in 34.02. So they've paid out some cash. All 4 races, the course record's gone down. I think Tim Vincent went and ran the 5K afterwards too to win $500.
And probably another, I think it was maybe 500 plus another 500 for the course record.
Wow, really? It's like, do you notice like they're all, well, maybe not I don't know about Brielle Urbacher actually, I'm not sure, but they're all MTC athletes.
Yeah, Nick Bedell has cleaned up with his, what do they take, 15, 20% a manager?
It's also one of those sort of races that just flies under the radar a little bit with maybe some of the other top runners in the country. No one really knows about. And then something like this puts it on the radar. We're going, oh, maybe next year you'll see an Ed Marks up there. Like, you know.
Well, it's smart from Jen to run 74.20 because then next year you rock up and run 73.20 and take another $7,500. Like she could have ran 70 minutes, but she didn't have to. She won by 10 minutes. So it's a nice day at work. Yeah, add up 20% of all those prices, boys. Nick Bedell sitting at home checking the results like, cha-ching, thank you very much. Good work, team.
Maybe it's just because we're in Victoria, but I didn't see any marketing around this and the records. So, yeah.
Jacko Elliott used to send his boys up there.
Yeah.
So they know it. The Queenslanders know about it.
Queenslanders, yeah.
But I didn't know it. Maybe that's new how much it was to break the race records.
No idea.
So that's good. We can't complain about people getting paid.
Not at all. A lot of money. More money in the sport, the better.
That's it. So some last bit of news moves. Take us through this.
Yep. So the Paavo Nurmi Games. I'm guessing this is in Finland somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Helsinki, maybe. 1,500. We had Jude Thomas. He ran 6th place, 3:34, and it was won by Atui, 3:31. In the steeple, Carafine Ryan was 4th in 9:22, and it was won in 9:16 by Alamnol Wale. 9:22 a PB?
No, it's close. I think 9:21. So she's been fairly. I think she's peppered. Yeah, she's peppered that sort of low 9:20s a bit this season.
Yeah.
And just the last bit of news, I chucked this one in. So there's a 10K road race in New York called the Mini 10K, and it's a women's race. And Agnes Ngetich absolutely destroyed the field here. It's she ran 30:07, which is not super quick given she's run 28 something, but it's through Central Park, so it's not a super quick course. But it was more what she did to the field. So Gebra Salama was second in 30:53, and she's a quality athlete, I think 64 half runner, and Helen O'Beary was third in 31:10. So like she's putting a minute into Helen O'Beary. So Agnes Ngetich, it's going to be interesting to see what she does for the rest of the year, whether she jumps back onto the track or just sticks to the roads.
Keep an eye on it.
That was the news, as brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Chances are you're gearing up for a race yourself, but how dialed in is your race nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner. Visit precisionhydration.com and get your numbers today. Whispers, boys, more of a talking topic to kick things off today. Listening to the Ed Marks interview, and I'm sitting there wondering, like, do we have like a pathway program for people like Ed Marks with like Athletes Australia, Athletes Victoria? Like so much talent, 2750-ish, goes over and runs B races, hasn't been able to land a sponsorship. Doesn't even sound like any sponsors are interested, Croaks, in the conversation you were having with him. Like no one's knocking on his door maybe yet. And I'm like, what? Is there a responsibility? And maybe you know more about this, Moose, because you've been in this high performance stuff. Like, is there any responsibility or something in place, like a pathway for Athletes Australia to be like, hey, we can put you in touch with these brands, or hey, we can put you in touch with these training groups, or we can contact some races and get you in the A race instead of you and your dad doing it to try to get into the B race. I was just pondering that as I was running along listening to it.
I don't think the commercial side of stuff there is. Like, I don't think so. I think, like, in order to get development as an athlete, like with the sport looking after you, got to go through the NAS system. And then there was always development spots that were open there to up and coming runners. But I'm not sure what that looks like anymore. Like, I haven't sort of looked at the criteria and who's actually on it. I know they changed the marathon program at NAS where they would only take three marathoners for the NAS program. And so outside of that three, if you, let's say, let's just throw hypotheticals, but let's say it's like have to Pat Tiernan and Andy, right? They're your three marathoners that you've got pegged. That means that like Brett Robinson misses out, or like Jack Rayner doesn't get funding unless he's getting. I think it's gender, 3 per gender.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, I think then you're like that. If you're not running other distances, then you miss out. But yeah, like Ed, he's so young and raw and almost naive. I would say that he's a bit naive, like listening to that interview.
That's what I mean. He just needs someone in the industry to be like, I'll take you under my wing. I've got the contacts. So I can, it's an maybe uneducated kind of thing. He hasn't been in this process before.
Well, we had a good chat like off air because I said to him when we finished recording, I said, sorry, like I hope I'm not coming across too pushy in terms of always hassling you about, hey, like, have you got a manager yet? Have you got a coach? He's like, no, like you actually made some really good points. And I think he's finally accepted that maybe he does need to get a manager because that, like, as I said to him, you know, domestically, you finished 2 seconds behind Kai Robinson at World Cross. And we know how good Kai is. You weren't that far behind Seth. You beat Morgan McDonald at World Cross. And Ed's here saying, I know I can run faster. And I said, well, the only difference between you and these other guys is these guys are getting into races where they can run fast and you can't because, you know, we saw what happened in the US where you're trying to get into the A race and they won't let you because you don't have a manager working on your behalf. Despite you finishing 20th, 22nd 1 year at World Cross and 25th, like that should be enough to get into these A races. And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, so which managers would you recommend? So I've sort of reached out to a couple of people to try and, see whether some managers are willing to have a chat to him.
Yeah. My point being, though, that Uncle Croaks from the Inside Running podcast should not have to do that. Like there should be maybe a smoother kind of pathway from our state or national federations to catch this talent and keep it on the right path so it doesn't fall through the cracks.
Well, one of the tricky things though is like one of the heads of distance in the country for AA is also one of the sort of major agents. And so there becomes like a kind of a conflict there when you've got young athletes coming through and those like from the national body also have agencies that have commercial interests in the sport. Like you go,
real messy.
Well, who like if someone's getting access to these people first, is it the government organisation, the AA, and their staff that have agencies, or like it's a bit muddy.
Probably should be one or the other, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Second one, just get on Jack Rayner injury watch. Deleted Launceston 10 from his Strava, hasn't posted since. Hearing some stuff circulating. Nothing confirmed yet. Hopefully it's all good with Jack leading into Gold Coast Marathon. And then the other one is there's some speculation around Brett Robinson potentially running Sunshine Coast Marathon. He paced it last year for Ryan Gregson. I think he got him to like 30 or 35K. Some nice money up there, I think, if you were, say you like the stander alone. You know, maybe Ryan Gregson paces him this year. I'm not too sure, but could be a nice little payday. Owned by the same owners as Brisbane, which we've just spoken about. Trying to find the prize money off the top of the head.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
It's $4,000. So not a lot of money. What's the incentives though?
Probably get a bit of appearance money, I'd imagine, as
under
well.
215, an extra $5,000. So he'll do that
wow.
as well. So yeah, be a, once the appearance money might be a $15,000 day for him. Keep it on watch just to see what happens the next couple of weeks.
Always,
I did it.
It's pretty tricky to do that in the marathon, like to make business decisions like that and go, I'm going to go tempo a marathon, because even tempoing a marathon, there's always seems to be a bit of karma based around like racing for money and then something that goes wrong, or like you get injured off it, or you get sick and your main race goes to shit. So yeah, I think you can pull it off with 10s and stuff, but it's way harder with marathons.
I don't think he's going to tempo it though. I think it's going to be his race for the.
That's your whisper. He's going to go hard at it.
He's choosing this over a Gold Coast or a potential Melbourne, and then might double up at Valencia.
This is a whisper though, right?
This is a whisper. Yeah, this is just me speculating, whispering, trying to connect some dots. I did have a Moose on the loose as well. Moose, can I take this one?
Go for it.
I was checking social media yesterday, which I've got to stop doing, and there was a post celebrating an 11-year-old doing a backyard ultra and doing 100 kilometers, which I think is it 6.7K every hour on the hour, and then he had to do. I just want to open the picture I took, and it was like, I don't know, how good's this? And I'm like, really celebrating this kid, and I'm like, this cannot be good for the development of an 11-year-old. So he did 15 yards, which was an 100K, and had broken the Australian backyard ultra record for the age group, which in my opinion, there should be no records for that age group. And I'm just thinking about myself as a school teacher, like that's grade 5. And we like celebrate stuff at assembly, like someone will make the Victorian team for footy, or someone will come 5th at regional swimming champs and they stand up at assembly. And I just couldn't imagine a grade 5 kid standing up at assembly saying, oh yeah, I ran 100K over the weekend, or over 13 hours or whatever it was, doing a backyard ultra. It would just be insane to see that at a school assembly. And the post is just very much like, how good's this? And I'm just like, is it a lack of education around how this could really damage a kid?
Yeah,
maybe?
Like physically damage, mentally damage, it is such an enormous stress doing that. And I often wonder,
every hour for 15 hours, an 11-year-old ran 6.5K.
Yeah, I look at the guys that do it for like 100 hours, and I think the sleep deprivation is not good for the human body. Like, we know how important sleep is, and these guys are doing it like every other month. They're going out and like not sleeping for 4 days straight. Like, this cannot be good for the body. Like, it can't. Like, is there going to be damage done in the future? I'm kind of worried about it.
Yeah, and it's very seems like it's taken off massively. You see it a lot on social media now, and at first I was really like interested. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but then it's like we're pushing this. Well, people are pushing it to the extreme, and it's like, where does that fine line between like celebrating amazing success and like athletic performance to be like, okay, now I've overstepped the line and this is kind of not safe and dangerous. Yeah. Like, they do ours next to the river here, and I'm like if you're having a bad day and it's the middle of the night and like you fall in the Murray River, like there's no one out there on course other than the people doing it at 3 a.m. I'm like, are we celebrating stuff that's quite dangerous?
You probably need to make it a little bit harder. Like, take it from 6.7 to maybe 8. So you got to run an extra 1,300 meters for that loop. And I reckon it might cut it down to potentially like from 100 hours, maybe back down to like a safer limit. And when I say safe, like I actually don't know the science on sleep deprivation, but I'm guessing it can't be good for you. That's just my initial thoughts is like, and so if we can make it slightly more difficult, then you can't be out there and kind of be close to,
and some age groups, like you shouldn't be, like you can't enter a marathon at under 18, can you? I can't enter Hudson in the Melbourne Marathon.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
Like, out there, I don't know if A, celebrating these junior records, and B, actually letting them enter and compete, or maybe if you're under 18, you can only do the first 10. That's still 60K. Like, I don't think, maybe you can do the first 5. I don't know. But there should be some kind of regulation on the age groups and who can enter these things. Because, man, that 11-year-old, he's got a bit of Goggins about him. Bit of Goggins, a bit of Ned Brockman. Like, he's got that dog in him, that kid. But should we put some restrictions on him? Save it for when you're 20. But anyway.
Croak's staying quiet, wants to stay out of this one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Croaks at a backyard ultra?
Like, I don't even let Lily bloody go and do a running session.
Yeah, Lily and Hudson aren't that. They're not 11 yet, though, Croaks. When they're 11. Hudson's playing on the MCG today. Did I tell you that? About to go to Melbourne. I told him if he kicks 4 goals, we'll get an ice cream on the way home.
You know, I played in this game once.
Did you do the Oz kick at half time?
No, it was an under-18 game. So it was like interleague final. I was playing for Geelong versus, I can't even remember who. Maybe the league up where you are.
And we Pioneers or Murray Bushrangers?
No, it was interleague.
Oh, interleague.
So
sorry, I thought you meant TAC Cup, but you weren't that good.
I was part of the squad, mate. But we played on the MCG before Melbourne, Essendon, and King's birthday. It was Melbourne, Collingwood,
Melbourne.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like playing in front, and so the crowd starts piling in, right? And you're probably playing in front of it. At the end of the game, there's probably 40, 50,000 in there playing footy on the MCG.
Yeah, he's doing it today. There'll be 95,000 people there today.
Yeah, you tried to insert yourself, I saw.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, they won't let me volunteer. I'm like, mate, it's not about you.
I wanted to tick the box as parent helper, but they're like, nah, you got to have a police check or whatever. I'm working with children's check, and I'm like, I'm a qualified teacher. Ring the Victorian Institute of Teaching. I've had the way bigger checks than this go on, but they're like, nah, unless you got the working with children's number. So I'll just sit in the stands and have a couple of beers. I think, boys, it's probably better for me. Anyway, I did tell him the story how I finished Melbourne Marathon on the MCG in front of 17 people in the stands. Tried to get him up and about.
Tell him Uncle Moose was out there playing one day.
He would tell last night. He said, "Are you going to tell the boys on the podcast I'm playing on the MCG?" I'm like, "Yeah, mate. I've already told him." Uncle Moose would be real happy. He kicked 10 there once. Moose on the loose.
No, you got it. You good one.
You happy with that?
I'm happy with that for sure. Yeah.
Good. Yep. Listener question, Croaks. Bring the show home.
All right, this episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And the question comes in from Sarah. And the question is, why do you think some people don't do what their training indicates they're capable of?
It's a great question because it happens all the time. Mm-hmm. And we sit back and do you know what people say? Not my day. Not my day is the answer for like 95% of people who go out there and don't run the time that they thought they were going to. But is it not your day, or is it that you're training too hard? And the sessions, the indicator sessions that you're doing that are supposed to be 10 by a K at 10K pace are actually at 5K effort, or 4 by 5K at marathon pace are actually at half marathon effort.
Yeah. Or you're doing Deeks quarters, which is meant to be like, it's a 4.8K session, but you basically run that 4.8K as hard as you can without much change in the ons and the floats. And you go, oh, well, that's what I can run for 5K, but you've essentially just done a 4.8K time trial. So you're not going to run that in a 5K race.
Yeah, but if you do that session properly, I'd argue it's going to be pretty close to lining up.
Yeah, that's doing it properly, not treating it like a 4.8K time trial.
Yeah. So point 1, not doing sessions properly.
Yeah, I was the biggest culprit of this, because I always thought, and I would always get 10-mile tempo session. And if you can do the 10-mile tempo at marathon pace, you can run it on the day because of adrenaline and it's competition and taper and all of that. And I would absolutely rinse those 10-mile tempos. And I would finish going, you beauty, I'm 2:19, man. Just haven't run it yet. And then I would get to the 25K mark every race, absolutely smashed and cooked and blow up and be like, what's going on? The training said I should do this. Not my day today. Oh, biggest culprit ever.
I think you flipped that though in your last 5 or 6 years of marathoning.
No, I did, and that's
you undertrained and went to another level on race day.
Undertrained, stay comfortable, understanding from a marathon perspective, understanding where you should be feeling under duress is a really important one. And most people feel duress too early in a marathon and just continue and push through it. Yeah, because that was like learning the marathon. There's something about that. There's something to be said for multiple marathons and experience.
I think people read too much into some of the workouts instead of the body of work. So someone might put this real flashy workout in once a week, but their mileage is quite low, or then they got sick or inconsistent kind of thing. So Sarah's question here, like the training, is that the training indicated as a whole or the training indicated as one amazing 6x1K workout? So when you dig deeper into someone's training, look at their body of work, what does that show you?
That's also why I like the way that I've been training the last few months is that based on you look at the sessions and you go, well, there's nothing in there that indicates you can run 31 minutes for 10K because you're doing everything so much slower than that. But then you come out and you run way faster than what you're actually doing in training, which comes back to the whole you haven't done your racing in training. You've saved it for race day. Whereas there's so many people that every session they do is the equivalent of a race. So when they get to a race, they've got nowhere to go. They've already spent all their bickies.
Dodgy treadmill or GPS loop is another one.
Ooh,
so your
yeah.
training can look. I've got a guy who trains on like a synthetic oval in Sydney, and we know that his data is going to look better than it actually is. So it's important that we know that. But people in the past, me included, have done workouts, and you're like, oh, I'm so fit. Look at these workouts. Like, look at these paces. And you're just jogging on a dodgy GPS loop, small blocks, GPS jumps around, or people on sketchy treadmills. Was it Clousey? Was he doing some dodgy treadmill stuff at one stage?
I reckon it was Aaron Scott.
Aaron Scott, mate.
Oh yeah,
his stuff was really good on Strava for a while.
Hadn't run for 3 months. Gone out and run a sub 15-minute 5K time trial on the treadmill.
He's cooked.
Yeah. So that's when your training and your racing also isn't going to match up.
The other one as well is, I see this sometimes with athletes, is I look at their training, I go, okay, this is roughly what shape I think you're in for 10K. This is what I think you should run early on in the race. And you look at their Strava at the end of the race and they've run that first K or 2K, 10 seconds a K faster than what you've said. And then it comes back to bite them. So pacing's another thing, because it's one thing to go, okay, this is my plan, but then the gun goes, the adrenaline's pumping, and then you just cook it in the first 20% of the race.
Yeah. And the training is also on your terms a lot of the time. Like you're going out at the time that suits you, or you're on a road, or you're not, lining up for Portaloos or having to zigzag past people. And that can be another thing that can throw it. Race day experience is different than training. And sometimes that stress can get to them. But yeah, it's a good question, Sarah. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com. Use the code IRP2026 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up, boys? Bislett Games. Chriso will be there. He'll be in the stands Thursday AM. So that's our Wednesday night. So we're not going to do the monthly.
No. So it's going to be Thursday AM our time. So it's Wednesday for them.
Yeah. So that's the point I'm making, that Chriso won't be on the monthly Wednesday night. So I'll have to pick another night for that. Cam Myers in the mile. 5K. He's got Kai, Algram, Fisher. 3K. Rose Davies, Georgie Griffiths, Linden Hall, Lauren Ryan. 800's got Peter Bowl. There we go. That's a field for you. Be talking about that all next week. Moose, what do you got coming up between now and next week?
Oh, let me check quickly.
Check the calendar. What's in the calendar?
Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, there'd have to be something, wouldn't there?
I got to go to work.
Oh, yeah, work something. Croaks,
Patreon kicked off, boys. The Patreon, like the shop our favourites.
Yeah,
You boys having some influence on there,
People. Well, the two things you asked me to recommend last week is my favourites that you don't stock, so I'm not sure I'm having much of an influence.
Hyper Boost Edge. I'm glad that made the cut. I love that shoe.
Yeah, but the boys, you listen to Shoe Geeks yet?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's a brilliant midsole.
It's funny with the upper how I think it was Tommy was saying that his lateral ankle, it gets caught even with a heel pitch. I had that on the first couple of runs and then haven't experienced it since.
Do those boys just overthink shoes though, you think, Croaks? Like I'm wearing all the shoes that they're talking about, and I just like have not thought of any of the things they're talking. Like, so maybe for the general punter out there, just the blue collar jogger like me, you don't notice these things that they're talking about.
No,
They're
I
talking
definitely
about the
noticed.
upper, and I'm like, it's just the top of a shoe.
I definitely noticed though the wow factor of the just how the Hyper Boost Edge feels. Like it just makes running easy compared to other. Well, for example, I on Friday because I had a bit of tib post issues throughout the week. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for a bit more of a stable shoe for my hour run on Friday, and I wore the Nike Structure Plus, and like it's a good shoe, but I've been doing that hour run in the Hyper Boost Edge, and the difference in the shoes in terms of how I felt running, I'm like, oh yeah, like this is not as enjoyable. I'm not getting as much back from this shoe.
They weren't happy that you and I got the Neo Vista.
Oh,
3
boys. Yeah, you don't want to be on the receiving end of Nitter's wrath there.
I haven't worn it yet.
Yeah, neither have I. They emailed me asking if I'd worn it yet, and I was like, it's been too wet. There's too much rain. We've got to wait for the weather to fine up before we pull out a brand new shoe.
I said I've had a dodgy Achilles.
Just both of us throwing excuses.
You love that for the Achilles though.
Yeah, I do, but I just haven't worn it yet.
Yeah.
Too wet. What are you doing, Croaks?
Interviewing the Australian marathon record holder on Wednesday in the men's.
The men's? You might have the women's, mightn't you, Moose?
I do. I got to check that actually.
The week after, I reckon.
Week
You got the
after,
week after, Moose.
Make sure you don't cook that one like you did.
Nah, Zaka, mate. It was Zaka.
Oh, man. That's insane. That's awesome.
Oh, Connor, man. It's rock up at the right time.
The big fella.
Oh, man. That's insane. That's awesome.
All right, boys. See you next week.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah.
I love the soundboard. I love it.
Yeah, but you know with Croker, the better the shape, the sharper the brain.
Oh, mate, don't say that, because that irritates me, and I punch blokes in the mouth for saying that. Don't you dare say that.
Boys, bye. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration for sponsoring this episode. Precision Fuel and Hydration is the answer to fuel your next marathon. Their free online planner helps you nail your sodium and carb intake so you don't fade when it matters most. Visit precisionhydration.com, and while you're there, place your first order and get 15% off when you use the code IRP2026.